Hi, everybody, and good morning, and a good December to you. Um, yeah, I almost blew this off because I don't know why in my mind I had set it for 9:30, and I was minding my own business, and then my reminder goes off. You gotta start in 15 minutes, so I had to hurry. um, okay, so let's see. What did I accomplish in the past month? I pretty much wrapped up the whole Mokumegane series. That's not to say that I won't add more, but because there are many things that can still be said about it, and a lot of technique, little finesses, and I fully intend to show you how you can control better. I started in a couple videos, but I fully intend to go with more. Hi, Foxy. Maybe you can try to, Brenda. Can you hear me? Maybe you might want to reload. Hi, Cecile. Hi, Tina. Hi, Karine. Bonjour, Karine. Okay, try to reload the page then, because maybe that's the problem. Um, so what was I saying about, um, so the Mokumegane? I fully intend to show you more on how you can manipulate it, because it can be very easily manipulated. And if you look around at the greatest artists, they seem to always get whatever they want as effects. It is true that Mokumegane always has and always will have a certain degree of unexpected results. You know, it's like, what did I tell you to do and what are you doing? You know, but okay, I'm glad, Brenda. But there is a very high degree of control that you can have on your Mokumegane. There are three other different things that I will be starting, and I was for a while going like, which of them should I start now, and how to, how to schedule them. And then I realized, you know what? One of the things that I always hated. Morning, Minky. I always hated as an artist if when I have constraints upon me. Excuse me. Like when I have to do something, when I have to finish something, I am one of those artists that works on something here, and then I get an idea and I move to my second project. And then I might move to my third project and then go back to the first. So I usually work on several things at the same time. It depends how the muse hits, you know. And I might even start a new one. That's not to say that I'm not finishing, because when I have absolutely no health issues or pet issues stopping me, I do finish everything that I'm starting. But the thing is that, I don't like to be constrained. So I said, why not actually start all of them at the same time? You know, it starts moving. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that, Tina, in a second. Be patient. Um, so I'm going to start with all three of them at the same time, and I hope you will enjoy them. It will be like with the Mokumegane, the part one, part two, part three to eternity. But I sure hope you'll enjoy it. Then, because of the feedback I had from my last few videos with canes, I realized that as much as some of my subscribers are more advanced, some are not that advanced, or they are not very advanced in a specific technique that I've been showing. Because everybody has their own strength. You know, somebody makes canes better, somebody makes mokumegane better, somebody makes using paints. You know, everybody has their own strong strength and their own weakness. And I think from now on, whenever I'm going to show any kind of, for example, cane, because see, I did that with the wearable art project. I first did the techniques involved. Good morning, Carrie. And then I did the full project. But I guess I have to do that with the canes, especially when it's about canes that involve several elements. I'm going to first do the elements and then the wrapping up of the cane. Because like with the holly berry cane, I got a lot of feedback. We cannot see you move too fast. We didn't really understand how you did the first leaf or how you did the berries. That's why I went back and I did a separate one with the berries. Oh, I don't know why. Check if it's not muted. Hold on. Okay. And then I will be doing the leaf, and I am so freaking ditzy because when I started the berries, I started actually to do the both of them, and then I went to get the pack of jungle that I knew I had in the drawer, and I couldn't find it, and I was like, oh, I probably went through all of it. So then, of course, I had put in my order uh, Friday, yesterday, and then it will be here tomorrow, Monday. So that's not the problem. But last evening when I was rearranging, um, I actually found the jungle package. It was just hidden under another package, and I thought it was just two of the same kind. So if I have time tomorrow morning or this afternoon, I will do the leaf cane as well. But for the future, that's what I wanted to say. I will be doing first the elements of something when it's something that has, you know, more than one element, and they are a little bit more complicated. I will be doing the elements first and then do uh, the whole thing. Also, remember, if you have any kind of issues, you can leave me questions in the comments on the videos. You can message me on Facebook. You can contact me through the email that's listed on the About tab on my YouTube channel, through my website, through my blog. You can contact me at any time. And I promise you, that I will answer your question, or if you need more clarification on how to do something, I will put that on my list to do. I might not be able to do it right away. It also depends on the complexity of what you're requesting. Oh, I am glad. Yeah, the scarf ring is something that is absolutely awesome for presents, for making as gifts, especially at this time of the year. And also, you can make it for fall and for spring with different type of motifs and veneers. Not necessarily for Christmas, but they do change a simple scarf into a piece of jewelry, and they make you look all pretty and elegant and all that. So, getting back on what did I accomplish last month, I also have been selected to be an Amazon influencer. And I am taking this opportunity to do two things. Number one, I will make sure that I put on my in my Amazon store, and I have put the link on my channel. It's on my website as well and on my blog. And I posted on Facebook, but there's no way on Facebook to put a permanent link there. I can only put one link, and that was to my website. But I am trying to put, number one, everything that I am using in my videos or recommending to use. And there are a few that cannot be purchased through Amazon, and I've been thinking what to do. And I think that what I will do is just to do a board on my Pinterest and just add them there, because if you click there, it will take you directly to the website. Because, for example, I did put the mini bench grinder that I was presenting you in the sanding and buffing for a dime, but the company I got my buffing wheels from does not sell through Amazon. So there's no way for me to put a link in Amazon, because as much as it is true that if you have a wish list or a gift list, you can put on Amazon in that list things that are from other websites that are outside of Amazon. You cannot do that on the influencer store. But I will make sure to make a new board on Pinterest and put there what you need to do, because I've been looking all over the place to find the best mini wheels, for example, for the flex shaft. And I have put on the list the flex shaft that I am using, that one of my sponsors got for me. Thank you, Linda. And you will see that it's like half price of the ones you can find in the home improvement stores or most online, and it is working just absolutely great. And the other thing that I am putting, generally in the morning when I drink my coffee and I wake up, I scour the internet for various deals, and I will make sure that I have the pretty much best deals of the day. I'll try to do that every day. When buying clay, when buying all kinds of bacon bond and all kinds of other supplies that we need. Wherever I will find a deal, I will put it in the store. And you probably know that if you buy something using my store, I will get a itty bitty few cents commission, but that will add up and will help me be able to buy other things to make tutorials. And I have quite a few on the line. I got two of the things that I wanted to try, and I got them, three of the things. So I'll try to kind of squeeze them in between the holiday tutorials. Yes, I have an Amazon influencer store, Tina. Yes, you can get it if you go to my YouTube channel. You'll see there are little icons on my head cover photo. And you can click on the little A there and you'll get into my store. What else? I have to say that all three pets are doing absolutely wonderful. The cats are back to their old shenanigans. Whisper is feeling great. He's driving me nuts right now because he wants to play. And he wants to play all the time, including when I am busy. And that was the reason why I made a couple of the tutorials lately with subtitles and not with narration, because when I was trying hard to do the sound, and it was impossible. One of them had to come and ask for attention, you know. And it's not very professional to listen to somebody telling you how you're supposed to do this and how you're supposed to do that, and there would be a lot of meow meows and dog whines in the background. But yeah, so they are all doing just fine. And Whisper, I got him some CBD oil, and it seems to really, really work on him. We shall see in about 10 days. We need to go back to do his liver enzymes and see if they are still skyrocketing high, or if the whole new diet, liver diet, and the CBD oil and the other supplements I'm giving him are helping or not. To be honest, his new diet actually costs me less. It's just a lot more work because I have to make once a week. I make this humongous pot of various things that he's allowed to eat, and then I have to chop everything, and then I have to add cream of wheat and coconut flour. We'll think that they are cheap. Yes, you can find coconut flour very cheap. And then I mix everything in a mash. Initially, he was a little bit, I'm not eating this. But then when he didn't get anything else, he had to eat it, and now he's enjoying it. Yeah, I will be trying to do some. I need to work on a few more endings because I have only like a handful of them with Connors. So I'll try to tape them in interactions so they would look nice. Yes, they can. They can, but they are doing good. I am really, really happy. As I went, I don't know, last month was absolutely horrible. I was afraid I mean, all three of them went through, and especially Whisper. Whisper, I was sure I was going to lose. I was sure he was going to die. I mean, it's amazing that he survived, because you have to think that he continuously threw up for close to 2 days. And then he had a lot of blood loss, and then he didn't eat for 3 days, not a bit of anything. And considering his liver, possible liver cancer, because that's the only diagnostic the only thing that would make his liver enzymes go so high right now. And I don't want to get him through a liver biopsy. But I really thought that I was going to lose him. And he is the little fur babies of my heart. Probably I got more connected to him because he had so many issues when I got him. He is, except for two of the pets I had in my life, everyone else was a rescue. And I got him from no-kill sanctuary that's not far from here, about 10 miles from here. And he was about 4.5 months old, and he had already been very abused, used as a training bait for a pit bull and all that. He was exactly like an autistic child. It took him, I called him Whisper because initially he would only make like loud sighs, and I thought they had debarked him as well, the people who had him in that abusive situation. It took him 3 months to bark for the first time and almost 6 months to wag his tail for the first time. So probably that's why I am so connected to him, because it was a long and tedious journey to bring him back to being a semi-normal dog. He still has a lot of emotional issues, but he's a delightful little deer. So, oh, the CBD oil. Yeah, I read only good things about the CBD oil, to be very honest. So I don't know. I might even give it a try for myself, because I talked to some of the ladies on my breast cancer forum. I am so glad to, Carrie. I don't know what I would have done without all of you and all your help. Thank you so much, Carrie. It was wonderful. I wasn't even expecting to have such a wonderful response from everybody to come and help me save these little souls. And they really owe their lives to you all, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to take them to the doctor. But what was I saying? Yeah, about the CBD oil. I've been talking to some of the ladies on my breast cancer forum, and some ladies who have the same issues as I do, with the lifelong side effects from chemo and surgery and medication. And they said that they did have some relief from the peripheral neuropathy and generalized neuralgia and all the other things. On the other hand, because of all these things, I had to reschedule all my doctor appointments. And yeah, I know it's not very good because I was supposed to go do more tests and more to see what's going on. But I'm sorry, I just couldn't leave Whisper alone when he was in such a dire situation. So it's going to have to wait for January because I could not reschedule them for December. Now, let me see. Do you have any questions? Some of the questions that I got, I already replied when I said when I talked about the Mokumegane and um, how I'm going to post tutorials from now on, more complicated tutorials. And yes, it really works. I think that it's really, really good. Do you have anything that you would want me to do before the holiday season is over? Make sure that you post it, and so I would have a couple days um, to prepare, and do the video. The other thing, the Imagine contest is really on the way. We already have, I think, 5 contestants that have sent a proper registration. Polyclay Play said that the coupon for the contest, we will be giving it out until the 15th of December. And it will be valid until the 15th of December, so it is extended. So if you did not register yet, you can still register and you can still get the coupon for Polyclay Play. And you need to make sure that you send us your name, where you are located, a little bit of information, like how long have you been working with polymer clay, maybe a little bit of fun bits of information. Oh yes, I have a glass ornament on the list. I got a full box of them. Yes, we will do a couple glass ornaments. What do you mean to put? You mean to uh oh god, I have a memory stop. To cover a cup with slices of cane? That's what you mean? Um, oh, back to the Imagine contest until I see what you reply here. You need, and also a little bit of information, just a couple fun facts about yourself, or not necessarily fun facts, and then, of course, the links to all your web presence. If you have an Etsy, if you have an artist Facebook, if you don't have an artist Facebook, that a link, then a link to your profile. If you have a YouTube channel, Instagram, and so on and so forth. We shall not post. They are not posted in the list of participants. When we are starting to present each and every participant, that's going to have to be at the starting Monday. I will contact each participant to ask exactly what they want to appear on their presentation, because the whole purpose of this contest is to help beginning, and not necessarily beginning artists, but artists that don't have so much of a presence on the web, help them come forward and be more known. I don't understand mug at the bottom. Thank you, Minky. Just put on the bottom of the mug, or make a mug, cover something with canes on the very bottom of it, or around it. I have some little bowls that I got I found at Big Lots, and there are like 4 glass bowls for $2 that I'm going to use to show you how to make little bowls. I will try and find them for purchase on Amazon, and if I do, I will put them in my Amazon store, because they are only about the big, and they would make beautiful things. Another thing that I'm going to do also for the holidays. Remember, I did a few months ago how to make little boxes using cutters, and I will make at least one that would be holiday themed, that you can also use for um, making gifts. I'm also working, and hopefully I'll be finishing them really soon, the paid tutorials on how to make the Japanese Inro inspired wallet medallion, and also some Celtic canes. Now, the Celtic canes will not be shown with the same colors that are on the wallet that I made the presentation of, because I am sorry and I apologize, but that's just for my sponsors. I will make them still with beautiful colors. No worries about that. And I will be posting other type of Celtic canes, not just the ones shown on that medallion. Okay, so you just want to have it holiday-ish somehow. I will look today, because on Saturdays my best friend comes and takes me out shopping, and we hit a lot of thrift stores and stuff usually. So I'll look for a mug that would be without prints or anything, to do something like that. And so, yeah, we will do a Christmas ornament with slices of cane, and another Christmas ornament. I already have it in my mind with poinsettias and fake snow and stuff like that. And yes, there will be a poinsettia cane as well soon. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, what's going to be for the next, those 3 types of projects. One is actually related to canes, because I thought, you know what, I started showing canes, and not only that, but I don't know if you watched my little video on Facebook. A lot of people have expressed interest in learning how to make, and how to use micro canes. And that is when you reduce a cane to a few millimeters, and then you use it pretty much like a mosaic to cover a bead. And if you want, give me just a few minutes, and I will bring them, just in case you didn't see my little video on Facebook. I'll be right back. Okay, let me switch the camera view. Okay, and hopefully the camera will focus. See this kind of stuff. I'll grab another one. So yeah, a lot of people have manifested interest in learning how to do this. So I thought of starting a whole cane series about the basic, and not necessarily the basic canes. You can see the basic canes if you go to my website. I have a whole section there that I don't have listed on YouTube, uh, that deals with basic canes, and I am adding more all the time to that. Um, but as generally, teaching you how to blend the canes, how to reduce them, how to arrange them on beads. And I know that there are quite a few tutorials and books out there, but um, and in this I do understand a lot um, the what some of my subscribers and sponsors have told me when I did the poll on if you prefer tutorials as videos or tutorials as PDFs. And I said, most people said that they prefer the tutorials in the form of video because they also, the PDFs are great, but they understand much better by seeing it done. So that's why I think that a few tutorials on this, and no worries, I will not touch in any way stuff that's on paid tutorials or books. I have a big problem with that. Um, to give you an example, yeah, we do have groups here in Oklahoma as well. And at one point, I wanted to make an effort, ask one of my friends to drive me to a meeting and all that. But then I saw that they had on their list, one of the members was going to teach a technique that was in a published book. That did not, go well with me because that is a very, very touchy subject. It's practically, how can I say, that artist worked a lot for that book, right? And it's one thing when you have a friend and you share like this, but when you go in a group setting, in a public group setting, and you teach something that is from a book that you did not write, you make it so that the people who are there who want to know it will not buy the book. It's not plagiarism. No, it's not. Plagiarism is different. Plagiarism is when you copy, you say, oh, I like how she did that medallion, and it sells well, I'm going to do one exactly the same. That is plagiarism. But this is, I don't even know if it's called in any way, but it really, I know that, there's the other side of the story but I cannot afford to buy all these. Yeah, but think also of the artist. Think of the artist who had spent a lot of time and a lot of money for materials and stuff to come up with those techniques. And they depend, that's their livelihood. And if you buy one of those books and then you go and teach to 20 people what's in that book, those 20 people will not buy the book. So the artist who is relying on the small commission sale, because when you publish a book you're not really left with a lot. That's not ethical to me, and I don't want to be involved in any kind of group that condones that type of behavior. That is the whole thing. The same thing as I told you before, I do not mind at all, and I find it absolutely wonderful when somebody presents more than one person presents the same technique, because somebody might not be able to understand very well the way that I am presenting it, and might understand better if somebody else presents it. But what I do not condone and what doesn't sit well with me is when those people do not give credit to the person who actually worked to come up with that technique and act like they invented it, and there's a lot of newcomers in the trade, and those newcomers actually believe that, and it's not ethical, it's not right, and it doesn't sit well with me. I am sorry. But I did go to another group's, I made the effort and I went to another group's meeting, and I was absolutely delighted. It's a completely different setup, meeting of minds. Yes, that is the best thing, Carrie. Yes. Carrie says that when she taught quilting, she made her students purchase the book by another author that she was teaching from. That is exactly the way to do. Oh no, Minky, in the group that I was talking about, the teacher did credit the artist, but they did not get permission. You know, I mean, yeah, I agree that if the artist says that, it's one thing. If the artist encourages others to actually teach, but you cannot promote the book if you teach from the book, because if you taught from the book, then the person doesn't have any more reasons to actually buy the book. It's not right. It's not right. It doesn't sit well with me. So generally, I do not like to be in a group where things are not ethical by my standards. I have some weird standards. I'm more strict. I'm more like this. If you want, I'm 56. I'm not going to change about that. That's how I was raised. That's how I lived by. And I'm not going to change and accept all kinds of compromises for anything. Um, Now, hi, Diane. The other thing that I'm going to start showing to you, and I know that I said a while ago that I will not talk about my plans, and I kind of got back on that. You know what? If they want to do that, let them do it. If they can do it, let them do it. More people will learn. I just hope they do it right, because I see a lot of people who are trying to do stuff that I don't do it right. The other thing that I'm going to start showing you is actually Pardo. Um, the whole Pardo is a long story. Pardo had a pretty nice entrance in the US, I think about 10 years ago. But then there was an unfortunate mishappening that I guess a big a big load of Pardo got pretty much half baked. On the way, and then pretty much all the Pardo that was for sale at Hobby Lobby and Michael's was half baked, and people who bought it weren't able to use it, so nobody bought Pardo anymore. And Pardo kind of failed entering the US market. The thing is that the other thing is that, oh yes, Pardo is so expensive. Depends where you buy it, because there's a lot of sellers who put a lot of overhead. It's just gouging prices. I mean, believe me, I've seen Primo sold online on, not just on Amazon, but on Google Shopping, and for more than $7 per 2-ounce package. Nobody stops anyone to put the price they want, but then you can also find Pardo at very convenient prices. And the thing with Pardo is that it's an absolutely wonderful clay. It is very different than any other clay. Where there? Are you in Canada, Tina? Um, but you have to work with it differently than you work with other clays. And once you learn how to work with it, it is the most wonderful clay for certain things. Don't get me wrong. Each of the brands of clay has its specific strengths and weaknesses, and because like Cernit is too soft for canes, honestly. But Cernit, you cannot beat Cernit when it comes to sculpture because it has that alabaster-like finish and a certain translucency of the colors that you cannot really get with other clays. Or with Primo is the easiness to work, and it is so versatile, but it still has its own cons. I mean, it has it does pretty much the best mica shift out there, but it's a little bit too flashy. Remember, I did that comparison between the Primo Pardo and Cernit. When Cernit miserably failed the mica shift, but it doesn't mean that it's a bad clay. It's a wonderful clay, but not for mica shift. And you saw how the Primo mica shift was all flashy and strong, while the Pardo mica shift was more delicate, more. Yes, polyclayplay.com has it on sale, and it's very cheap. I just loaded with Pardo with my first of the month sale. And she usually has things at very low prices. And not only that, but you gain some perks, and every time you buy more, you kind of get a discount every time you buy from her. So, for example, Fimo. If you manage to work with Fimo, especially Fimo Professional, or with Kato, they are very hard to condition. They are horribly. I mean, I cannot. I I might, but with a lot of effort, I might be able to work with Kato and Fimo. I'm not working with Kato because anymore. Even if I still used to work a little bit here and there, I was making the effort just because uh, Kato and Fimo make the best gradients, make the best Skinner blend. You cannot get the refined Skinner blend that you can get with Kato or with Fimo Professional with Primo. It's impossible. But Kato, for example, I cannot use it anymore because my pets seem to throw up every time I'm baking Kato. I don't know. They don't have that reaction when I use Kato liquid. Doesn't matter if I bake it or I heat it with a heat gun. But apparently they are sensitive to the, you saw that Kato has a little bit of a smell to it. Yes, Calpi 3, I do not work with it. I do not recommend it. I always went ahead. It's Calpi 3 is for learners and for children. You cannot make any kind of durable things with Scalpi 3. It is brittle once you bake it. It doesn't last. You cannot make canes with Scalpi 3. So it's okay to buy Scalpi 3 to learn how to do stuff, but especially if you intend to sell things, do not use Scalpi 3 because you'll have your clients coming back. Hey, dude, it's been just a month since I bought this and it broke. It just cracked. This is what happens with Scalpi 3, and it doesn't matter how long you bake it or whatever. Um, but yeah, Kato has an absolutely wonderful and gorgeous metallics line. But again, they are both too hard for me to work with. They are too hard to condition. Probably if I could afford a never need machine or something like that, I would be able to work with them more. But getting back to Pardo, Pardo is very, very different. Pardo is beeswax based. You cannot put the regular clay softener in Pardo or baby oil or whatever. And I will show, I'll make a tutorial on how to condition Pardo and how you know when Pardo is properly conditioned. And again, I will make it with comparison with Primo. especially when we have, because I know you can find Pardo for insane prices online, but polyclade play that I discovered recently always has it, and always has it on a very reasonable price. I mean, if she has the Primo below the store price, she has the Pardo at the price you would pay in the store for Primo. And you cannot really beat that, you know. And Pardo is absolutely fantastic for jewelry, for making faux gemstones, and for flowers. For flowers made with the Pardo, can even beat Cernit. Cernit would be the best for making flowers, by the way. Between Cernit, Fimo, Primo, Cato, Cernit is the best for flowers because of that translucency. But Pardo, excuse me, is even better because number one, Pardo, if you ever worked with Cernit, you know that after a little bit of manipulating, yes, I will be do some sculpting stuff too. I will carry. Um, when you manipulate Cernit a little bit, for like 10 minutes, at one point you need to stop and put it in the fridge because it gets too soft and doesn't hold detail very well. While Pardo, that doesn't happen with Pardo because it is beeswax based. There are some clays, of course, that I didn't try yet. I hope to be able to try one day, like the Brazilian one or the Russian artifact. And I said one of these days, just for fun, I'm going to to buy some of that Chinese polymer clay that goes around on eBay and see how it works. Because I heard very different opinion from different people. Some people say that it's awesome. Some people say not. But yeah, Carrie, I will do some sculpting. I will do first, and also I will do at least one tutorial before Christmas, so you can make little ornaments. I thought of starting on a smaller scale, to do little figurines like little gnomes and little fairies and little dragons, and then move on to more realistic dolls. I will nevertheless still show how to do a face and how to do a hand and how to do a foot. But yes, I will show sculpting. So what else is there? And then there would be one more. I'm not yet sure that if I'm going to start that one. So the third one, I'm not going to mention it yet because I still have some things unfinished from way back when the whole roller coaster of my health issues and my pet health issues started. But, if nothing happens and my health stays steady without any worsening, then I am, whenever it goes like that, I'm able to slowly catch up. Unfortunately, it seems that every time I start catching up, something happens. So I'm falling behind again. And this is the reason why, because I was asked that, why don't you advertise? Why? I can barely keep up as it is. I wouldn't be able to advertise for what? To have an increased business that I cannot do physically? Because it's impossible. As I said, I can barely keep up with things as they are. But hopefully, and with the powers that be's help, I will be able to stay on track and things not to get worse. Now, it is very possible, and I have to warn you that if at any point, starting this month and especially January and February, if you do not hear from me for up to like 10 days, that means we had a nice storm. Because Hi Tipnet, I did not translate in French because this is pretty much an English speaker day. So that's why I did not do French. There was only one French speaker. But I will make a little description. Je vais faire un petit résumé dans le descriptif, mais il y a seulement une personne qui parle français pour mon live aujourd'hui, donc j'ai pas fait de traduction. Mais je vais mettre un résumé dans le descriptif du vidéo après que mon live est fini. See, I'm losing track again. Oh yeah, I was talking about Oklahoma is famous for its ice storms. So generally speaking, because to me it makes absolutely no sense, we are the state with the most winds of the whole North America. Thank you, Minky. And still we have all our power lines are above ground. So every time we get an ice storm, and unfortunately winters in Oklahoma are more on the ice storm side, on freezing rain side, than on snow side. And anytime we have an ice storm, then the power lines break. So we are without power. So if that happens, the most that I went without power was 9 days back in 2007. And hopefully that will not repeat because, sorry, unfortunately, you know, if you don't have power, you don't have heat going. I do have a gas stove, so that helps a little bit. But if at any time you stop seeing me for several days, that look in the news should be ice storm in Oklahoma. My dog, the last one who died was Maya. I had to put her down in January of last year. Oh, you are asking Tina. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you were asking me. I didn't see Tina saying about her dog. But yeah, when you lose a dog is absolutely horrible. I know when I lost, I had a gentle giant who died in 2007, 10 years ago. I'm still mourning for him. It took me more than half a year to recover from that. It's, you know, people say, oh, it's just animals. Maybe for some people. For me, they are part of the family and they are just another being, you know. So it's getting close to 10 and I don't want to keep you much longer. I hope I did not forget anything. And if I did and you need any more clarification about something, or if you need to ask me any question again, you can post it in the comments, or you can ask me on my Facebook page. On my website, there's a contact me there. On my blog, there's a contact me there. So anytime, as I said, I will never tell you that you need to pay for my time or anything. I will be happy to help you. And talking about this, it seems to be a little bit of a, I don't know, misjudging my intentions or whatever. I said from the very start that I started this whole thing because I want to teach people. I am too old and too ill to want to even deal about success. I don't need anyone's approval by my age. I already know who I am, what I'm worth, and I don't need validation from anybody. And I started this channel with the express intent to share with others what I know before the time comes when I wouldn't be able to share anymore. And my sponsors are absolutely wonderful ladies, and they have been with me all this time. And they are not my sponsors because they want to know more than I can teach, more special stuff than I teach on the public tutorials. Of course they do. Of course I do show them a lot of things and I share with them a lot of things. But they are my sponsors and they are backing me to support me in this effort of making public tutorials. Because that is my intention. If, yes, I do have an online store. If stuff sells good, if not, It doesn't ask for food, you know. It just can stay in a box. And I get everything that I get. There are a lot of people who do buy stuff from my Amazon. Thank you, Carrie. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. Also helps me a lot with making the tutorials. For example, I needed these lamps because I had big issues seeing, you know. I know, you always think you have time until one day comes when there is no more tomorrow. Always try to do. I don't feel old, Tina. I don't feel old. It's just the fact that I am aware of my limitations and of the whatever prognostic I have. I am aware of the reality. I have hope. Yes, anybody. You cannot go on without hope. But you never know. And as I said, for example, I needed some new lights, and two of my sponsors went ahead and got me these lights, and this is why you can see much better in my videos, because now I have good lighting for my workspace. Um, and you have no idea how much my sponsors have done for you, so I can share more things in a better way in my public videos. So yeah, that is something that it's not just me who needs to be thankful for, but you need to be thankful for too. So again, it's almost 10 o'clock, and I don't want to keep you. It's Saturday, and everybody's getting ready to make gifts, to make this, to make that. And I will see you tomorrow at the live. Remember, we are making baby fairies. Make sure to check the necessary materials, because it's a little bit more complicated than in other lives. And that is it. Thank you for being my subscribers, and I'm looking forward to many more tutorials to make and having you around. Have a great weekend. Bye.